Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are back in the Mig-21. We're fighting the F-5 again. Very much my journey of learning how to dogfight in the Mig-21. There's the Mirage, and we're going to take them straight into a vertical fight. Try to use the thrust weight advantage of the Mig-21 against the F-5 and see how it plays out. Mig-21, not really a dogfighter, more of a hit and run aircraft, but I think it can still do some things from time to time if you play it correctly. So the F-5 is actually a very, very dangerous opponent for a Mig-21. In terms of performance, it basically outperforms me in every way. Even the vertical fight can be dangerous because he does have Fox 2s, and so do I though. But I can't just extend away from him into the vertical. He'll just shoot a Fox 2 at me. I wish it was that simple. In a guns-only fight, that would be a better solution, but as long as there's Fox 2s involved, it's not that great. In the vertical fight, I can already see him having a little bit of trouble with it. I do have the emergency afterburner mode on in the Mig-21 here, so I'm getting every pound of thrust I can get out of her. And just trying to bleed the F-5 for energy is really where I'm going with this. As long as the turns are high, his missiles shouldn't be able to hit me because they can't pull enough Gs to stay in a turn with me. Theoretically, I mean, you can still get lucky. But the idea here is I'm just trying to bleed the energy off this F-5 and get in a good position behind him here. And you can see that's kind of working for me a little bit right now. So one of the major problems with the Mig-21 is that right there. You know, you get the tone and you hold the weapon release button, but it takes several seconds for that missile to come off the rail, and those are valuable seconds that you're losing, and a lot of times it ends up, you know, losing the fight or you don't get your shot off. When it comes to the Sidewinder capable aircraft, you know, the Sidewinder gets the tone, you press the button, that thing comes off. You know, and like, look, I keep losing the tone because the missile won't come off in time. Almost had him there in the head-on pass. Alright, so just trying to keep him in the two-circle fight here in the vertical and try to use the thrust to weight advantage. Again, keep in mind the Mig-21 is an interceptor. It is a hit-and-run aircraft. You don't really want to be dogfighting like this. Anything like a F-5 or an F-4 in an even dogfight is going to give a Mig-21 a hard time. He almost shot me as he went by there. And if I had just jumped this F-5, you know, I have more long-range missiles, I have radar-guided missiles that I can hit him with. I would have a significant advantage in that situation, but being in an even dogfight with him is not really where I want to be. That being said, there are some advantages that I can try to use against him. And if he makes any kind of critical mistakes, I should be able to, you know, move into a good position and hopefully get a kill. I'm constantly committing to the vertical fight. He keeps trying to lure me into, you know, raid fights and stuff on the deck, and I'm trying really hard not to go for it. And just keep dragging him into these vertical fights where he doesn't really have the thrust to weight ratio to follow. Almost had a gunshot on him there. Okay, lost track IR for some reason. They're real. I don't know if that has ever happened to you guys, but it happens pretty frequently now for some reason in DCS. Alright, so coming around now. I can get a Fox 2 off. There it is. Oh! Dude, that looked like it was close. Now with him trying to tighten down that turn, that means he's going to be slow, and if he's slow, all of a sudden I'm in a good situation. I'm down to guns only. And here he is again tightening down. He's trying to shoot out of my HUD. And I've got flaps down, so that's a big advantage for the turn radius of the MiG-21 at this point. With the flaps down, you can see him. I'm not so much keeping up with him because he's nowhere near his max rate speed. He's a little slow and he's not going to have the engines to extend away. Here we go. Oh, yes. Hit him. Is it going in? Oh, yeah, he went in. He went in hard. Alright, well, we know the vertical works for the MiG-21 against the F-5. Again, if the F-5 plays his cards correctly with the Fox 2s, even the vertical fight is going to be a difficult fight for the MiG-21. We're probably going to try to do something a little bit different this time and try out some other stuff. Again, the flaps down suggestion that you guys had in the last video, the last MiG-21 video, is actually helpful. You can feel the MiG-21 being a little bit more stable at lower speeds. But not to the point that I would say it makes a huge difference in a fight, assuming that the other guy is, you know, max performing his aircraft. That mirror doesn't really do much for me, or camera, I guess. Flares out because I can't see him. I know he's over there somewhere, but in case he fired a Fox 2. Yeah, here he comes out of the clouds. There's the Mirage 2 circle still. Alright, nose down attitude, that's really going to help the MiG pull through these turns. I think you can get pretty decent rates as long as you have altitude to dump your nose. Taking some shots as he goes by. That's true with almost all Delta Wing aircraft. He kind of shot outside the circle there, so I'm going to try to reverse it on him and see if I can create some one circle problems at this point. Oh, that was close. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. I see him. You'll see him in a second, don't worry. I know YouTube compression is making it difficult. There he is in front. You should be able to see him pretty clearly now. And looks like I'm actually not in a bad position. But she's not liking being this slow. And this is not good. I think I might cross his nose. Yep. Yeah, he hit me there. That was a good shot by long shot. She's not flying too well, if I'm being honest. Where did he go? Alright, he's down there. Aircraft's kind of unresponsive, if I'm being honest. Ah. I thought I saw a Fox 2 come off. Alright, so let's try something else. This time I'm going to try to take him for the one circle turn. The Mig-21 should be able to match the F-5's one circle turn, or very close to it at least. The problem is at the end of that turn, the Mig-21 is very wobbly and basically very difficult to aim either guns or Fox 2s. So here we go with the merge. You can see him using a bit of the vertical, so I'm going to do the same. And he is beating me in the one circle. As I pull hard to match that, you can see the aircraft kind of wobbling. It does not like it at all. And so here we go now into the two circle. And I got the nose dumped. And you can see he can actually do a pretty good job on the two circle staying with me here. Almost had a head-on pass. Staying in the two circle. If he gets me down to the deck, I'm in very big trouble. If he can keep his rate speeds, of course. Takes a couple of shots as he goes by. And I'm starting to like my odds of being able to maybe get a snapshot gun kill opportunity here. I think I can work up to it, but... Okay, we are in a two circle on the deck. This is very bad for me. But it does look like the F-5 might be a little bit slower than he should be. As he goes by, just didn't want to take a Sidewinder to the face there. Alright, this is a good opportunity, possible gun kill here. Oh! I actually hit him. He just flew through the bullet stream there. Alright, so he's pretty messed up at this point. I should be able to slot him behind, because I don't think he's crashing. But this looks like a good Fox 2 opportunity to just wrap this fight up. Yeah, he's messed up pretty bad. And all that smoke from behind him is going to make it difficult for him to see me as well. Fox 2. Ooh, tried to flare at the last second. Alright, so I'll be honest, I'm enjoying the Mig-21. I think it's a great module. It's very well modeled. Absolutely one of the most visually appealing and well-designed modules of DCS, I think. Loving this turquoise Russian cockpit. Very calming effect. And so here in the merge, I'm going to try to create one last problem for this F-5, and then we'll see. I think this will be the last round that we'll do in the merge. Going to cake him one circle again. Using a bit of the vertical. He really dumped his nose that time. Oh, he slotted in nicely behind me. I tried to keep my energy a little bit, but I ended up making a huge circle. And he slotted in nicely now. So that didn't really work. Oh, was that a Fox 2? Oh! Alright ladies, let's do our quick little Tacview review here. We'll fast forward just a little bit. I don't want this to take too long. So this is the fight where I kept taking the F5 to the vertical. I found it quite helpful. However, like I said, you have to consider the fact that the Fox 2 is a variable in this situation. When you go for the vertical like this in a gunfight, it's pretty good because it's hard for him to shoot you if he's not close to you, or if you're pretty fast. You have the airspeed to do some jinx and stuff. But when Fox 2s are involved in situations like this, he could easily get a Fox 2 off and get a kill very easily in this situation. Especially since as you go up, you do get slower, right? So that's why, like, look at that. I didn't even know he was going to shoot there. I forgot, but there it is. And you can see how I narrowly escaped that one. And it's a good indicator, it's a good example of exactly why you can't just take a fight into the vertical. I mean, you can, but you gotta it's a situational thing, right? Now in this situation, when I'm watching him take shots at me, I know that he's pulling me into the HUD to take those shots. And pulling me into the HUD like that means that he's going to get slow. He's not going to be able to do the leg pursuit. Like, ideally he should fire his Fox 2 and then try to fly my flight path with me and try to keep up with me in the vertical. But as he pulls me into the HUD, what's going to happen is he's going to lose that airspeed. Look at this, true airspeed of 94, and it's going to give me an opportunity to continue to circle and come around and hopefully kill him. The only thing he can do from here is dump his nose, right? He's got to get back down. He's got to convert that gravitational potential energy into kinetic energy. All right, so me trying to keep him into the vertical there, and then unfortunately here I just don't keep it elongated enough, and here I actually make the same mistake I'm saying not to make, and you can see I'm kind of trying to pull him into the HUD. So regardless of the fact that you know it, given the application in that moment, you may not be able to apply it. You got to really pay attention. And again, I'm avoiding those horizontal or parallel fights with him, you know, on the deck like this, and him going around like this. I'm trying to keep the fight in the vertical plane, as you can see here. And that was a late missile coming off. When I said the Mig-21, you know, you hold the button trying to get the goddamn missile off and it won't come off, and then it eventually comes off, but it's too late. And so in these situations, you know, we got our head-on passes. F5 trying to stay in the vertical. You can see how he's very much unable to do it. He's struggling very hard to stay in these vertical fights with me. Very wobbly. And eventually, yes, he's constantly going into the vertical. Very hard for the F5. You can see I'm pretty much safe. And then here we go. Once I got him slow, I got him at Mach 0.42, true airspeed of 279. I believe the rate speeds for the F5 are 400 to 430. And so now we're in this situation. Now I can take him into a rate fight on the deck. Because of the fact that if he's slow, you know, I can kind of switch things into my advantage here. And there's the Fox 2 shot, which pretty close actually, if we're being honest. It was a tight one. Yeah, it's pretty close. So, miss that one, shoot outside the turn circle, but it's not enough for him to really reverse the turn, and he's too slow to reverse the turn. Reversing the turn now, it would be, he would kind of end up over here somewhere, and I would easily kill him, right? However, I guess the best thing he can do is really extend out, but he theoretically would know that I don't have any more Fox 2s, because he knows that we both came into the fight with 2 in this round. But if it was real life, he wouldn't know that. It would be a much more challenging situation to want to extend away. You'd definitely be taking a risk. But having tightened down like this, I think it is the best option in this situation, and just try to tighten down to the point where the MiG-21 is going to lose control in the slow speed fight. But that's why I put the flaps out and just kind of stayed behind him nicely. You can see I'm actually pulling 13-10, and he is trying to tighten down. He's trying to get out of the HUD every time, which is good, but at this point it's just too late. He's lost too much airspeed, and he's dead. Okay, so big thank you to Longshot for helping out with this video, and thank you to all of you for watching. Don't forget to follow Longshot on his channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.